Hey up. So I mentioned a couple of weeks ago now, I think it was, on one of my videos that I use an app called Footpath to plan hikes and walks and wild camping trips. And I've had a couple of comments from people asking about it and how to use it and all that kind of stuff, so I thought I'd do a quick video on how I use it. Now, a little disclaimer before I start: I can obviously only talk about how I use it. I'm sure there's features and things in the app that I don't use or things that I do wrong, but it works for me, and I'll just talk through the way that I use it. So I'll go through how to plan a route or a walk or a hike, and talk a bit about how I use it when I'm actually out. I only use the free version of the app. There is a premium version, so we'll have a look at what you get with that as well and what extra things you can get. You can do a 7-day free trial, so I might do that and then report back on whether it's worth it or not as well. We're obviously still in lockdown, so you can only go for walks in your local area. But one thing you can do when you're stuck at home is do a bit of planning. So obviously you can't plan when you're going to go out, but you can plan where you're going to go, plan some routes and get them ready for when we're allowed out again. So I'm using an iPhone 11. You can get the Footpath app for Android as well. And as far as I know, it looks and works in exactly the same way. So you see on here I've got the Footpath app installed. I've got OS Maps and View Ranger as well, that I need to spend some more time with them really and work out how they work. And then I might do some videos on them as well, if they're any use. So when you first open the app, you just get like a big map on screen with a search bar at the top and a few icons at the bottom. And it puts a blue dot on the screen showing you your location. But you can see on that dot there's a blue arrow as well, which shows you the direction that you're pointing. So if I move my phone around, you can see the direction on that moves with it. And that's useful when you're out walking a route, and I'll show you how that works more later. So in the top left you've got these 3 lines that give you a menu, and it takes you to My Routes. You can see I've got a couple saved in here already, or you can click New Route at the top. And then towards the bottom you can see 3 of 5 saved routes remaining. So because I'm on the free version, I can only save 5 routes, and that's one of the limitations. It's not a problem for me because once I've done a route and I kind of know it, I can delete it from here anyway. But we're going to go New Route. Takes us back to the map. And then the first thing I do is set a starting location. So let's say we want to go to a route around Bamford Edge. Type Bamford in. Bamford Edge comes up on the list, so I'll click that and it takes us to that location on the map. I can then pinch the screen to zoom out. We can see Lady Bower there, Hathersage, and we can pinch out to zoom in, and you can see various things on here like toilets, takeaways, restaurants, churches. Bamford's there. I can see New Road, I can see a stone circle, and then this yellow line here is Bamford Edge. So roads are white lines and public footpaths are yellow lines. And I'm just sliding around the screen to move around. Now the first thing I want to do when I'm going for a hike or a wild camp or whatever is find somewhere to dump the car. And there's 2 ways to do that. One is just use Google Maps and search for car parks around the location that you want to go to. Or you can do it on here. If I click the button in the bottom right, we get this screen of maps and routing. And on map style you can see map box outdoors. If I click on that, I can change that to satellite, and we can click off that box, and now I've got a satellite view on the map. So we're still in the same place. We can see Lady Bower, we can see Bamford Edge, but now I can see things like this where there's a lay-by, so that's a potential spot that I could park on New Road. I can see that Bamford's a little village or town that's likely to have some car parking in it, or a pub or something. Angler's Rest there, look, with a car park. So yeah, I find it useful before I come on here to know where I'm going to start basically. But what I'm going to do now is go back to the map view, so that icon on the bottom right, click satellite and go to map box outdoors. Now if I scroll down here, you can see we've got basic, map box and satellite, and then Footpath Elite. So these are extra maps that you get if you pay for that Elite membership. There's not really any on there that scream out to me that I need, so stick to map box. Now like I said, I want to set my starting point, so I'll press on the screen and hold, and I get this menu here. Click set as start, and we've now got a black dot where our route starts. And like I said, I want to walk across Bamford Edge, maybe down by the reservoir and back to where I started, because that's where I'm dumping the car. So we can start to draw our route now. At the bottom of the screen in the middle, we've got this little pencil icon. So if I click on that, this is a tool that lets me draw a route. So with that activated, I've got two options now. I can either click on the map where I want to go to. I'll do that now. Let's say up there. And the app will calculate that route for me using Footpath. Or if I click the back arrow to undo that, I can click the pencil again and use my finger to just draw roughly on the screen, and then when I let go, the app snaps that line to the footpath. And that feature is useful if you want to go a specific way. So if I undo that, just quickly again, if I click the dot and let the app do it, you can see it takes the most direct route. But if I'm walking, I might want to go a different way. So for that, I use a kind of finger dragging technique to go that way around, and it snaps me to the public footpath or the public access. Now I can leave that line in place, move the map a bit. Again, I can zoom in and out, or just drag it around with my finger. Click the pencil again, and I can keep drawing my route. So I'll draw some more, scroll, click the pencil, draw some more, scroll, click the pencil. You know, you get the picture. If I zoom in here, I'll take quite a detailed route down there. Past the fish breeding pens. Sounds exciting. And then we'll come down here. Yes, look at that. Yorkshire Bridge pub. We'll stop there for a chip cob and a shandy. So as I'm drawing this, you can see at the top we've got 2.58 miles. If I click on that, it gives you an idea of how long that route's going to take. So we've got 1 hour 18 minutes, and it's set to 2 miles an hour. Now that's because I've got the mapping mode set to hiking. So if I come off that, then click the bottom right icon again, that's where the routing mode comes in. So if I change from hiking to walking, come back off that and then click my 2.58 miles again, you can see that's now 53 minutes. Because it's using 3.1 miles an hour. Then this turn-by-turn navigation that you can see here is another feature of the Footpath Elite membership, and we'll have a run through that at the end. So I'm going to change that back to hiking, because I know that gives me a better estimate of times. And we'll carry on planning our route. Now if I add the next leg on, you'll see every time you click the screen to plot a section, you get this pop-up menu that says loop, out and back, or undo or reverse. Now the loop thing's quite useful, because if I click that, it does, as you would expect, it just loops me back using the quickest route to wherever I started. If I undo that and choose out and back, That's going out and then literally doing a 180, turning around and going back to where you started. So that's 5.77 miles. But I'll just do a loop, 3.75 miles, and that's my route planned basically. You can make these routes as easy or complicated as you want. As you go, you can obviously see the distance at the top. And next to where I've got the 3.75 miles, you can see that kind of squiggly arrow. If I click that, this is quite useful. It shows me the elevation as I go through that route. So you can drag your finger across it from left to right, and you see the pointer moves around the route and shows you your elevation. So we've got a little bit of a climb to start with, then a gentle downhill, a big downhill, a little bit of flat, and then up again towards the end. So that can be useful if you don't want any sudden climbs or drops. You can take a different route around with a better gradient for you. So we'll come off that and we'll say we're happy with that route now. So the round sort of up arrow on the top right hand corner, if I click that, I get a number of options. So I can save this route, I can share it, and if I'm an elite member I can export it or navigate and do the turn by turn navigation. So we'll hit save, we'll call it Bamford Edge, we'll save it as a hiking route and save route. So that's saved for us. It's 3.75 miles. We can see the elevation and gain there. And if I click the three lines on the top left to get the menu, you can see that's now in my list. Now another really useful thing with this app is, let's say I want to do my Bamford Edge route right now. Open the route, you can see at the bottom we have these three buttons. We've got Overview, Cue Sheet, and then a More menu. If you click More, most of these options are for the elite members, but the one that's available is Open Start Point In. And if I click that, I can choose Apple Maps or Google Maps. We'll go Google. And then if I hit Directions, that's basically my sat nav to the lay-by that I chose as the starting point. So the kind of process that I do is I sit at home, plan my route in, save it, jump in the car, do that Open Start Point in Google Maps, hit go, and then drive there. Then when I get there, I open the route, and then if you're there, your blue dot for your current location shows up where you are. So if I was there now, where the black dot is, you'd see my blue dot with the arrow on it. And as you walk around, that blue dot moves with you, so you can check that you're on the path and that you're going the right way, because you've got that little arrow that shows you the direction that you're facing. So I don't have the elite membership, I don't use the turn by turn navigation, I just use that dot that shows you where you are and make sure that I'm on the right path basically. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at what you get with the elite membership. So like I said, you can try it free for 7 days, which I might do. Plans from £1.79 a month, and this is what you can do. You can save unlimited routes, so you only get 5 with the free version. You get turn by turn navigation, which might be useful. You get those premium maps, so worldwide topo maps, 3D maps might be quite useful. Cycling and snow safety layers, not interested in them. Go offline, download maps and audio guidance, navigate completely offline. I've always found the way that I do it with the blue dot, I call it the blue dot method, to work offline anyway. So, because it just uses your GPS, not your mobile data signal, so that's fine. Analyze steep hills, zoom in on climbs colour coded by difficulty. Not bothered about that. Log and analyse workouts. Might be useful for some people. I've got an Apple Watch that records my activity, so I only use this for the navigation bit. Edit save routes, create new versions of existing routes. I'm happy just to recreate them. Export routes as GPX Fit or TCX. Not sure exactly what they go to or what reads those files, but if you've got one of the fancy kind of Garmin watches, I guess you can import files that way. So it might be worth for some of you just checking it out. Try the 7-day trial. You can cancel it at any time. Otherwise just use the free one like I do. I think that's it. So yeah, it's a really simple app, really easy to use. I've tried View Ranger a little bit and it does seem more complicated than this. But like I say, I need to spend more time with that as well and work out all the intricacies of it. I'm quite happy to make my own routes rather than doing the kind of social networking bit that View Ranger has. One final thing I will say is always take a physical map with you. Don't just rely on your phone and an app to keep you safe and keep you on the right path. Make sure you've got your map and compass with you as a backup. So I hope you found that useful. If you did, give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Use this time in lockdown to plan some routes and look forward to when we can get out again. Stay safe and I'll see you out there soon.